Hi, I'm Gina Pebb.
And I'm Eleanor Ingersoll. As producer and associate director of WHYY's Delaware Tonight, we work to bring you the news important to viewers like you, issues from all over the first state.
But it's important to know that our coverage of Delaware would not be possible without the generosity of WHYY viewers like you.
Your support allows us to ask elected officials your questions, to report on Delmarva farmers caught in a political tug-of-war, to recognize the courage of our servicemen and women, and to keep a watch on environmental issues.
Your support also allows us to take you to opening day for the Blue Rocks, to the resurrection of the Schwartz Arts Center, as well as the partner celebration for arts and nonprofits at the Delaware Center for Contemporary Arts.
From Selbyville to Claymont and every town in between, the Delaware Tonight news team keeps the first state first.
And your continued support of WHYY makes that possible. So please, call us now and become a member today.
And if you are already a member, we thank you for your continued support.
Ringing up the bills, racking up the stress, packing in the calories. A prescription for a traditional American holiday. Tonight, The Remedy, with a Friday Forum looking at having a healthy holiday in mind, body, and spirit. Well, what do you think? Email your solution for a healthy holiday to Delaware Tonight at WHYY.org, or you can always fax your suggestion to 302-575-0346. You know, the mad dash of the holidays is just about as predictable as those post-Christmas Day sales. Before we try to undo years of bad holiday habits, we took a sampling of opinions from some stressed out Delawareans.
I work in this environment right here in the mall, and you're dealing with a lot of energies going back and forth, so you could I find myself sometimes stressed out, but for the most part, I just find a little zone and just try to mellow it out.
I try not to get stressed out. I feel as though my faith keeps me together, and I enjoy my family.
People get you stressed out waiting in lines. That's about the worst part of shopping.
I watch what I eat, I exercise, I work out regularly, so that helps relieve stress too.
Everything, the shopping, the decorating, the making sure I've got everything just perfect because I always want it to be perfect.
Running from place to place, traffic.
We eat a lot of food on Christmas, so you gotta go work it out, so I go play basketball.
Chocolates. Chocolates at the holidays are very good. Great. Stress reliever.
Yes, it could be. Well, let's introduce our panel this evening, the people who are going to help us find that new remedy for a stress-free, healthy holiday. Okay, we might be asking for more than can be accomplished in one program, but maybe it's a good start. We're joined by Linda Brugler, clinical dietitian at St. Francis Hospital, and you have in front of you something that we all dread, and that is fat. How much is that?
This is a pound of fat, and this would be the thing that most people will try to avoid accumulating over the holidays. And actually, if we can keep our weight where it is, that is a stress reliever right there.
Making sure January doesn't arrive with the tip of the scales. Well, Joe Stanikowski, a personal fitness trainer, the owner of Absolute Fitness, he can help us make sure that that doesn't end up on our hips come January 1, huh?
Just have to keep moving, have to keep burning up some of that energy that's really stored, and you're going to keep eating more, of course. Grandma's going to make you eat her cookies. That could add up to that. You know, Grandma has to have you eat. You have to keep moving.
So you're going to show people, you have advice for people that you can keep Grandma happy and still come out happy on the other end yourself.
Most important exercise is smile. As long as you enjoy what you're doing, you're going to keep burning up some energy.
All right. Also joining us is Dr. Leslie Connor, a psychologist with the Brandywine Center. Obviously, the spirit is something that we have to keep in check as well as we stress ourselves out, huh?
Absolutely. And as I listened to that woman talk about a perfect holiday, I thought that's the formula for a disaster. Because instead of a perfect holiday, the focus should be more on finding meaning in a very meaningful holiday and making connections again with the people you care about. And my focus is on keeping it simple.
Forget Martha Stewart. You don't need to drill holes in walnuts for tablecloths, right? I like that advice very much. Is it an oxymoron, though, that we can have a healthy holiday?
No, I don't think so at all. I think maybe we have to put our attention on maintaining our health habits during the holidays, and I think that we have to put some limits on ourselves in terms of what our expectations are. I know from a nutritional point of view, a lot of it has to do with being able to keep healthy foods in the house and readily available so that we're not opening the cookie jar or the candy jar and because we're hungry, stressed out, and we don't have anything else to eat in the house.
And you have some suggestions for us as to what would be a good idea for some healthy foods, right?
Yeah, I mean, always fresh fruits and vegetables are something that we don't get enough of as Americans. The Foundation for Better Health has a campaign, the 5 a Day, the Colorway. It's a brand new campaign that's showcasing fruits and vegetables in terms of a color palette. Each color in the palette represents foods that give us something that we need to maintain our health. And so having fruits and vegetables, having easy to prepare foods that don't take a lot of time, cooking ahead so that if you've been out shopping and you're rushed, you can come home and you have something pre-prepared. You don't have to stop at a fast food place on the way home because you're not prepared.
And recognizing, though, that we still need to keep fuel in our bodies. And if we follow an exercise regime, we're going to want more of that. It's making good choices of food, but making sure that we're burning it off in the right way as well.
Exactly. Fuel comes in, fuel goes out, just like your car. You have to fill it up every time you drive for a long time. If you just leave your engine idling in the driveway, you keep trying to fill it up, this is going to overflow all over the place. So if you go out for some long drives or even some short little gunning kind of drives, you start and go, that's the way you burn off energy with your vehicle and with your body.
Now, you work with people in their homes.
Yes.
What is the biggest stumbling block any time of year for your clients in getting started and really feeling that sense of accomplishment?
I think it is just that getting started, making that choice to actually do something. This time of year, I think people are going to wait till New Year's to make that resolution. I think it's having a reason to get started right now, knowing that you can actually start getting lean and mean, maintain your weight, maybe even lose a few pounds over the holidays, that extra body fat that people don't really want to have.
But we beat ourselves up so much. We think, oh, I hate the cookies off of the tray. I'm going to be fat tomorrow.
We do beat ourselves up. And I could imagine some of your listeners hearing what these guys are saying and thinking, now I have to do that on top of buy the perfect gifts, bake cookies, get the tree up, have my house look wonderful, and be Martha Stewart when I entertain. And I don't want that message to come across as do this on top of everything else, because I think what's embedded in what you all are saying is keep yourself in the equation. There's a lot of noise at Christmas. There are a lot of demands that pull you out of what is meaningful to you. And if getting up in the morning and having a few minutes to yourself to exercise or think ahead about what healthy meals will be for you that day is an investment in you, then everything else stems from that. Then you're a more grounded person, you're less susceptible to running out and doing what everybody else says you need to be doing. And I think what you then give to other people is a more genuine you, and everybody benefits.
What about January? That's such a letdown, even for those that manage to make it through the holiday, keeping everything in check and enjoying their family, enjoying the time together. But then January comes and it's a long haul till spring.
It's dark and cold, but you know, I think for a lot of people who have a meaningful and positive experience at Christmas, there isn't as much of a letdown. I think when your expectations are high and the delivery of the actual experience is low, you have that letdown of, I didn't get anything near what I hoped to have from the holiday. What I encourage people to think about is forget all the have-tos and think about the want-tos. If you could pick the events or the activities that you truly want to do at this holiday and could do those and forget the rest, my guess is you'd have a positive experience. But that may mean you don't bake cookies, or it may mean you get a smaller tree and make it easy. Or you don't buy for everybody you know, you just buy for the people you really care to exchange gifts with. And everything else you let go of.
One of those ideas could be if you forego baking cookies, which can be very time-consuming, is to just have a nice basket of fruit available at home. So you have something there to offer, but it's healthful and it didn't take a lot of energy to do.
Also, people should be very conscientious about reading what they're putting into their bodies. I know you can't do that with a homemade gift from Grandma with her cookies. Yeah. We're going to vilify poor Grandma by the end of this program. But that is a very confusing little bit of information there, that nutrition fact that's on the back. You have to really know what you're looking for. What is the right combination of things to look for in a healthy snack or a healthy food item?
Well, the label will show you the amount of calories that is in a portion. It'll tell you what the portion size is. The label will also tell you the amount of fat that's in the product, the total fat, and it will tell you the amount that is in saturated fat. It will also give you an idea of how much cholesterol, how much sodium is there. It will tell you how much fiber. And so by looking at those values, you can make a decision about whether this food is high in these nutrients and good for us, or they're low in these and bad for us, or low in these nutrients and good for us.
Give us a cocktail party survival guide. Now, I've heard before, eat before you go. Well, come on, that kind of defeats the purpose of even going in the first place. And don't stand at the table and graze is another good one that that I can live with. But eating before you go, ugh.
I know.
You're not a good guest then. If I'm cooking food, I want people to eat it.
Well, that's what Scarlett O'Hara did before she went to her party. But actually, what you can do is not make the food the focus of the party. I mean, you don't have to be in the room where the food is all the time. Another trick is, instead of taking the large plate that might be offered to fill your plate with, is to take the small plate and fill it. As far as beverages, you know, a little bit of grape juice with some seltzer water looks just like a glass of wine and is a healthy choice for drinking at a party. And also, it's non-alcoholic, and so you can be the designated driver.
So I just want to add, if I can just add, there are a lot of extroverts in the world, and the idea of going to parties on a regular basis at Christmas is like a prison sentence. So for the, I'm sorry, those are for introverts. And so for an introvert, I would also say maybe make an appearance at a party, but don't feel like you have to stand there and be uncomfortable and awkward if that's not your scene. Or look for one-on-one contact with people at the party so that your conversations are a little more personal rather than social chat, which is draining for most introverts. For extroverts, they're having a ball, and maybe that's their scene and they love it. But for a lot of introverted people, parties are really difficult and add to their stress.
Joe, what's your personal exercise routine? I just have to know. You're the guru of exercise.
Honestly, it changes all the time. It really depends what season it is. You know, winter time is a great time to take advantage of snowball fights, skiing, which I'm not a skier, but it's a seasonal sort of sport. Summertime, you head to the beach, you do things in the water, you run around, you play. When it's warm out, and you can do that. My fitness program really changes all the time, just really with the seasons and with what I feel like is best for me at that time.
Are you a heart rate maximum person with the cardio workouts, or do you are you a person who believes that it has to be a mix of weight training, cardio, stretching?
I really don't like to focus on specific numbers. People get hung up on numbers. I think if you don't get over a certain heart rate, it's not doing anything. If you don't weigh a certain weight on the scale, you're not good enough, or maybe you're too good. I just like to think it all adds up. Every choice you make adds up. If you just say, hey, I'm going to walk that little bit further today, I'm going to go out and take a walk after dinner instead of sitting there on the couch and flipping channels. All these choices add up. That's the whole idea, is everything you do is going to make a difference. So really, what's the answer to that? I don't even know.
So make the exercising a part of your tradition. How
Right.
important is tradition in families? Sometimes a family's just starting out and they have not yet created those traditions that the hope is that it will carry on from generation to generation. Should we just let those go if we're not able to stick to them, or are they what help us find the meaning of the holiday?
The answer can be different for different people. What I would say is, if the traditions become burdens, if you're exhausting yourself because everything your family did was 10 times more than you can accomplish, then maybe it's time to recreate those traditions or create some of your own so that you can treasure them. And that comes back to the want-tos versus the have-tos. For some people, that is what gives them the meaning to Christmas, carrying out family traditions from years and years. If that brings meaning to you, wonderful. But if it becomes a burden, it is okay. You must give yourself permission to make a shift away from some traditions and create your own.
It can be very, very, I know that for my children, just the position of our Christmas tree is such a big deal that should I mention to move it, it's as though I've said there will be no holiday. Right. And they just have this pattern that they have created on their own that they like to follow out, and for them, I guess that's what Christmas is.
Children love traditions, and what a wonderful chance for parents to create traditions that will be what children remember. But I would rather, I think parents have to remember children, you model for children what you want the holiday to be. So if the tradition is we're dragged through the mall 5 days before Christmas, we're tired, hungry, it's crowded, is that the memory you want for your child to have? I doubt it. If you can work it so that you're doing some of that shopping ahead of time or online, or you're not dragging the kids, because that's no fun for them, or the tradition is forget all the shopping, we go to a Christmas concert. and we just enjoy the music. I mean, how spiritual that can be for people. And a child will remember that for a lifetime and create that for their children.
Well, we come to the month of January and people have their New Year's resolutions. Can't that pack a little bit of stress on us too? I can't even fulfill my New Year's resolution by January 2nd.
And you know, it's a setup for failure. Forget the New Year's resolutions. It really is a setup for failure. It's a time when you've just come off a busy holiday season, and people tend to set resolutions that are extreme. And what we know about change is that it does not happen in leaps and bounds. It happens in small stages. So instead of saying, for the rest of my life, I'm not going to eat chocolate, you know, maybe you make an adjustment so that today I'm not. That's a big change. If you've had chocolate every day through the holiday season, having a chocolate-free day would be a really good step.
and take the moment to applaud your own individual
Absolutely.
accomplishments.
Yes.
Small steps, that's how you
All
get
the
started
way,
on a
all the
fitness
way.
routine.
Little goals add up to the big one. Everything counts.
Paint for our viewers the difference that you see in your clients once they've been able to incorporate some form of a fitness program into their life. How are they different? How do they perceive themselves differently on the other end?
I really see people enjoy life more because they have more energy to give. They have more energy to do everything that they wanted to get done before and never really had the energy to do. It spreads to their families. I've worked with people where I would start with one person, and without even training the other people, they just kind of want to know what their father or husband or wife or mother is doing, and then you start to see benefits to the entire family. So fitness can become a tradition, I guess, just like the holiday times with the Christmas tree and where it's placed. You start fitness at an early age, it becomes a lifestyle tradition.
And if I can add, you know, weight loss does wonders for the spirit. There's no question.
It's a good ego booster.
But before weight loss, just working out, just walking or getting exercise can lift spirits on any given day. People physically feel better, they sleep better, they feel better about themselves because they're engaging in something that's healthy for them. So you know, long-term benefits are wonderful, but even daily benefits.
Well, let me get Linda in here because you can do that, but still shove a Big Mac down your face, and you're not going to feel better, right? You need to at least have an appropriate mix of fuel that you're putting into your body.
Yeah, a balanced diet. And most people, when they make that change to a balanced diet, they will notice that they have more energy and they feel better. They can do their activities of daily living better. Many people have illnesses that require them to follow diets, and when they do, they find that they can control their illnesses with the help of their dietary management. I wanted to follow up and make a point about weight. I think we're obsessed about weight. I think we're obsessed about being too heavy, and I think that we need to go a little easier on ourselves. And if we can reach a weight where we feel good, where we're happy, where we can sustain our daily activities without being too fatigued, then that's a good weight for us. And if it's a weight that we're able to maintain fairly
Find it,
easy,
work with it, and live with it.
Exactly.
Quickly, your favorite part of the holiday in 1 or 2 words?
Visiting with my family.
Having the family visit me.
How about for you?
My son, who's 3, and music. Just the music of the holidays.
Well, have a wonderful holiday season and a Happy New Year, and thank you so much. Hopefully we have found a part of the remedy for a healthy holiday. Thank you. Monday night on Delaware Tonight, Delaware's money watchers are taking another look at the numbers, the updated financial forecast, and the political spin on what the deficit could mean for the Minner administration. That's coming your way on Monday on Delaware Tonight at 5:30. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, have a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
And we're just 2 members of the many people that make up the Delaware Tonight news team.
And we're here to remind you that it's fundraising time again, because it's the time that generous support from viewers like you makes all the difference in our newscasts and our award-winning special programs.
We create newscasts that matter to you, the Delawarean. We're the only newscast that covers in-depth stories from Claymont to Laurel and throughout the entire state of Delaware.
Segments like Political Perspectives, Health and Medical Checkup, Wider Horizons, Legal Lessons, Sports, and the Friday Forum all work to bring you information that affects your everyday life.
These segments wouldn't be possible without the generous support of WHYY members. So if you enjoy watching Delaware Tonight, please call now and become a member of WHYY and the Delaware Tonight News team.
Along with news and information, becoming a member of WHYY has its perks. Here's Patrick Stoner to tell you about our thank you gifts.
Thank you, Gina and Eleanor. You know, those two are prime examples of somebody who ought to hear about this new thing we have to offer just right during our membership drive here around this particular news program. I mean, these two people, they work all day long. Their nerves are frazzled by the end of the day. They probably would just love for somebody to sit down and cook them a home-cooked meal, and yet you know how it works in life. Well, thanks to some nice people with Toscano, that's food to go. They have restaurants in, well, several places. There's the Rockford Shops, for example. Then there's Deep Blue Bar and Grill, West 11th Street, and brand new Toscano to go up at the Shops of Limestone Hills and Pike Creek. What you're looking at is $10 off. That's right, $10 off, and there's no expiration date on it. It's for a pledge of $50. And since we're tax deductible to the fullest extent of the law, you can take advantage of this, provide us with the money that runs our radio station, our TV station, all the good work we do with senior citizens in the hospitals and with schools. That's why we're tax deductible. You might as well take advantage of it and get something back at the same time. And people like Gina and Eleanor who work very, very hard, or just people who are really would love to have a superb meal prepared to go, well, that $10 off would make it even better. So it's sort of a win-win situation, isn't it? And by the way, coming up in just a moment is going to be what I think of as a news program that is absolutely crucial. You know what the kinds of things we're worried about right now. Since you don't have the visuals to make decisions about how to handle them, and that's all that the commercial television news cares about, isn't it great to have the News Hour, where people who really know something about the subject can sit around and just talk in full sentences, can you imagine, not sound bites, and analyze what's right and what's wrong and what we should do. That's what the News Hour does every night. Do you think of the value of that? Why do we get to do this? There are no advertisers paying for it. We get to do it because you call numbers like this. It's toll-free from wherever you are. It's not an 800 number. That goes to someplace in Hawaii, I've discovered, and they get it all the time and wonder why all these people are calling them. But it is a toll-free number, 888-345-9499. You make that call, they'll make it easy on you. If you want that gift certificate from Toscano, that's great, tell them that. And we also have many other ways of saying thank you, and no matter what, we are tax deductible to the fullest extent of the law. We're here to serve you. The News Hour does that, the news program you've just seen does that, and so many other things as well. I'm proud to be able to ask for your money here at the end of our year and take that tax deduction with pride. Take it with pride because we serve our community. That's why they make it tax deductible, and you are simply contributing to something worthwhile. Thanks.
To a party at one of his